Hi everybody. This video is in case you missed class from Tuesday morning on September 22nd. We started math class today by going over these vocabulary words for the chapter. The kids wrote down the words, we talked about some definitions. Of particular importance for this unit are going to be the ones that I'm going to put a star on here now. Volume, we're going to be talking a lot about volume. Rectangular prism, which is a big, long, fancy word of basically saying a box or a three-dimensional rectangle or just what you would think of as a box. We'll need to know the difference between a solid figure and a plane figure, as those are there. And we'll need to understand that volume is measured in cubic units. And then we will also call those cubic units, when we're actually working with them, we call those unit cubes. So knowing that if you stack unit cubes up inside your rectangular prism, inside your solid figure, the number of unit cubes will tell you the volume. I'll leave those words there for a bit. And if you need to take the time to think about them, to write them down, to be able to do that stuff, you can, of course, pause these videos while you do that. That will help you out a lot. We also did some work in our Volume 1 math book. We started at page 5 today. If you were not able to pick up your math book last week, you can go to Canvas. You can click on today's page, which will be the green Tuesday button, and you can look at the assignment that's called, I think it's called Math Book Pages. And it will take you to an electronic version of those pages. So if you don't have your book, you don't need to panic. You can find your work there. I'm going to have to adjust this rather carefully here. This is a very vocabulary heavy math unit here, but we start off by talking about the difference between a plane figure and a solid figure. Now, with a plane figure, it's just flat, it's two-dimensional, you can think of it like a piece of paper, and a unit square, which is, just like it sounds, a square, 1 unit. It can be a centimeter, an inch, a meter, a foot, a mile, or an acre. Maybe you live on a farm and you know how many acres your farm is. Well, those would be unit squares of 1 acre. And the question here is, how could you measure the plane figure using these unit squares? I'll let you hit pause if you want to think about that for a moment. That's right. You can put the squares inside the plane figure and count how many squares. We also talked about the importance that the squares have to fit together snugly. Similar question down here. We're just going to a different type of figure. And that we now have our unit cube in our solid figure. So now we're no longer doing area, we are doing volume. Yes, volume. In other words, how much stuff can you fit in that solid figure? That's a good sort of definition of volume, is how much stuff can fit inside something. Well, how do you think you could use a unit cube, a cube that is the same unit on each side, to find out what would be in that solid figure? Find out the volume of the solid figure. All right, let's see how we did. Stack the unit cubes inside there. Exactly. Now, this is somewhat answered already on this page, but you can tell if you stack the unit cubes up like this with all these spaces there, that's not going to give you the correct answer, right? You're not measuring all the space. So they have to be snugly fit together in order to give you an accurate measure of volume. Now in class, we skipped numbers 4 and 5 in class, although some kids had time to go back and solve them. Page 7 and 8 were next. In your own words, what is a unit cube? What do you know about it? Examples. These can be drawings. These can be an example of something that you could use cubic units to measure. You can be creative on those examples. One more question here. That information from earlier in the video should also help you answer these two problems here, and that is where we stopped for today. Once kids finished those pages 7 and 8 in their books, or in that assignment labeled book, once page 7 and 8 were done, they were able to start working independently. Now, the things that we need to finish today, we still have a lot of people that need to finish, and especially need to finish the iReady reading diagnostic. If you need to finish that reading diagnostic, we are now on week 3. It'll be really helpful if we can get that done. 2, quite a few students did not do the theme practice assignment from Monday. If you go to the Green Monday page in Canvas, that theme practice assignment is still there. Number 3, if you finished these things, and you can send me a Canvas message if you're not sure of your Extra Math login, or just look in your Google Docs at the page with all your password information, Extra Math. And then if you're done with iReady, you can do some iReady math lessons. I also added to Canvas as an announcement a science activity that we're going to be sort of working together to do. So you can go to your announcements in Canvas. That will also show up in your to-do list, and check that out. Let me know if you have any questions.